are there differences between football na kitu kama rugby, like the grass now for football and rugby, because there's a lot of running. Also, this is one of the reasons why they keep uko juu open, because I always wonder, like, why not just cover it.
You also need it.
No, that's Nyayo ndio kuna Kikuyu grass.
Nyayo head Kikuyu grass,
Kasarani
head Bermuda grass.
Yes. So what are the advantages of Kikuyu grass of Bermuda? Why do you feel like this other side was more superior than? How do you maintain such a pitch? Like, does Nyayo Stadium have a borehole? Ama you imagine atoka wapi? Eko nene episode 524, tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Na leo tuko na Mr. Moses Kivungi. Wajua nimeassume ni Mr. Menza kwa ni doctor, because ikikam to mambo na grass you understand everything. So is it Mr. or
ni Mr. lakini many times people call me doctor.
Yes. So tuko na Moses Kivungi, who is a tough grass agronomist or a greenkeeper. Kama unashindwa tough grass agronomist ni nani, every time una watch futa, especially Arsenal, una ile grass vile iko jo. Kuna watu ishughulikia. So for someone who does not understand, like, what a greenkeeper is, what's a greenkeeper?
Thank you for the show.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here this afternoon.
Yes.
A greenkeeper is somebody who takes charge of what we call sports turf grasses. Sports turf grasses ni nyasi zile zinatumika kutengeneza surface ya kuchezea michezo kama football, kama golf, kama cricket, kama rugby,
yes.
Kama bowling, na kuna hata viwanja zingine za lawn tennis zinatengenezwa na nyasi. That's why they are called lawn tennis. So a specialist in that field who manages all the management practices ya hizo nyasi kutoka seed to a playable surface, that person is called a tough grass specialist or a greenkeeper. Or even a sports turf agronomist. Yeah.
So unajua kitu fani ni before you told me that, I didn't think there was a difference. Mimi nafikiria hii nyasi yangu ile kwa nyumba yangu hii kama hiyo ndio waga kwa stadium, but it's just smooth. So it's not the same grass?
It's not the same grass. Grasses actually are classified into two categories. Kuna zile zinaitwa broad-leaved grasses na kuna zile zinaitwa narrow-leaved grasses.
Yes.
It's basically, or most of the time, the narrow-leaved grasses which qualify more to support sporting surfaces because of the various functional and aesthetic characteristics za hizo nyasi. So based on that, utapata kuna nyasi zile tunapanda kwa compounds zetu za nyumbani, which we also deal with because we also involved in landscaping. Utapata kuna several of those grasses, the likes of wale wanapanda kwa akmali ya kivuli, kuna paspalum. Unaweza pata kuna ile inaitwa Zimbabwe grass.
Okay.
Kuna zile zingine still narrow leaved now kama Cape Royal, Bermuda grasses, na Kikuyu grass is also classified as broad leaved, but it's also heavily used in sports fields. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a joke a friend of mine used to make, anaitwa Rapture, alikuwa anasema that hapa Kenya ukicheza ukisha score bao uwezi na tuko umeslide kwa grass. So hii grass, it's called tough grass. It's supposed to be rough than hii grass ya kawaida. Ama what's the difference? Why is it's called tough grass, but I just see players wakislide?
I think tutaanzia pale kwa tough grass. Actually the spelling of tough grass is TURF.
Okay.
It's not tough ile ya muscle.
Okay. Niko nafikiri ile tough ya okay.
Ni TURF. And then it depends on how you prepare the grass so that itafika mahali mtu akiscore anaweza kuslide. There are so many practices that we normally do to make sure that the grass is in that state where somebody can enjoy, the way we see people in the European leagues.
Yes.
Wakislide after scoring. It is possible. We can have all that with ourselves here in the tropics of Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So but now, like, how is this grass grown? Is it grown in a special place? Because remember, as I was saying, I always assume it's just good grass. So any good grass can be used on any field. That's what I used to assume. So stadium, is there special ways to grow it? Like Nyayo Stadium for example kuna kashimo fulani pale zinatoka ama like what happens?
Grasses, just like other crops. The crop for sports fields is grass. And the grasses can be grown from seeds. You can uproot what we call sprigs. Ama hata unaweza chimbua tudogo tunaitwa plugs. And the other alternative, which is quite expensive, is having what we call carpet.
Yes.
Sods, SODS, where you grow the grass in a big nursery. Then we have specialized equipment. It's called a sod cutter. Inakuja inakata hiyo nyasi into rolls, which you can now transport as a roll, and you unroll it on a well-prepared pitch surface. And that one would give you an instant playing surface. Once umewekelea hiyo inaitwa sods, you are able to play on it within 2 months. Kama umeanzia kwa begu, seeds kama zile tu za mahindi, kama zile za wimbi and all that, they are small in sizes.
Yes.
But those ones you can also grow, and from seed to playability, especially in tropical Africa, you need about 12 weeks. That's about 3 months to 4 months. You can be having a ready surface, but you need to have all the necessary infrastructure in place, including irrigation and fertilization, amongst the other practices that we normally do on those grasses to make a good playing surface. So basically, in Kenya, we have several grasses that we use. We have Kikuyu grass, which is which actually originated from Kenya. It's a native grass of Kenya.
Okay.
Its origin is actually between the Aberdares ranges and Mount Kenya, and its name is Kikuyu grass. Okay, the scientific name is different, but the local name that is used here in Kenya and even in other countries of Africa and beyond, it's called Kikuyu grass. South Africa, they call it Kikuyu grass, but the same spelling.
Yeah.
We also have Bermudas, and Bermudas are also quite a broad variety amongst the tropical grasses that are grown. Then after these ones, we can go to most of the other grasses are cool season, except some varieties which are being developed for the Paspalum species of the grasses.
Na hii Kikuyu grass ukislide itakwambia usiguze mlima.
Kikuyu grass is a wonderful grass. Unaichezea vile unataka, unaitunza vile unataka, lakini it's a heavy feeder. It likes fertilizer, it likes water, it likes a lot of mowing. That is a cutting operation, but it gives you a proper surface as recognized in Nyayo Stadium, which we prepared from last year to this year, and it was a top surface in the all of Eastern Africa, where we are hosting this CHAN of 2024-2025.
So Nini, Nyayo had better, like in quotes, better grass than Kasarani?
The surface at Nyayo was much more superior.
Yeah,
it was all over the media.
Because we just assumed that Nini. Alafu, even before we continue na hii story, I'd want to know, like, how do you find yourself in such a field? You know, this is such an interesting field, especially being an African, being a Kenyan, where we don't respect sports that much. And with respect, I'm going to put in quotes, because I always feel like the government does not invest enough in sports. Yes. So that means we don't respect sports compared to other countries. Unapataga mtoto iko 8 years old tayari ameshaingia kwa football academy, ameanza kunini. So that means that they're investing in this thing. They know it's very important. But sisi ni just your talent is kutoa shauri yako. So how did you find yourself in this field?
It's a long story. Actually, for a fact, I would say we don't have specialized specialized tough grass management institutions in Kenya. Even within Eastern Africa, we don't have. But particularly for my company, we have been able to do some training in greenkeeping for several golf courses. And we also had the Tough Grass Summit at Kasarani in 2005. My story into this field started in the early 1980s when I was in primary school. We had a friend of ours who came to our school, and he talked about horticulture in the Netherlands. So eventually, when he talked about doing those things in that field of horticulture, I said eventually I want to specialize in that field. So when I was applying for my college degree after high school, I applied for horticulture, and I went straight into horticulture in Juja, Jomo Kenyatta University. After Jomo Kenyatta University, in my whole class, and we are the first class doing horticulture from the 844 team, I'm the one who went into landscaping.
Okay.
So in landscaping, there are several areas that one can always look at. So when I joined Safari Park Hotel in 1995, I would find the entire 94 acres of landscape was covered by almost 80% of grass. From there, I developed an interest in tough grass management. So I left Safari Park Hotel and went to Nyanyuki, where I worked with Mount Kenya Safari Club, which had a 9-hole golf course. That is the time I discovered there's an opportunity in the field of tough grasses, in the field of greenkeeping. And I got a job at Modaiga Golf Club.
This is which year?
That was 2001.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is when I moved to Modaiga Golf Club. And they had intended to upgrade the golf course. So I thought I was in the very right place. And indeed that was right, because we renovated the entire golf course into United States of America specifications. We normally call it USGS specs. So that is where you really specialize with the grass with some bit of finality.
Yes.
So when I was working at Modaiga Golf Club, the architect who was in charge of the project was from South Africa. He told me, Moses, you are good in this field, but I think you can be better if you go to South Africa and train in this field. So I applied. I got invitation. I applied for leave. I left for South Africa. I did that training. I did very well in that training. I got a trophy. I came with a trophy back home.
Okay.
And I resumed my job at Modaiga Golf Club. So basically, that is how I got into that field. And from hence, I've been in the field for ever since. So from 1995, I would say I've been interacting with the grass, both normal lawn grasses for compounds, administrative spaces, parks, and now into specialized fields of golf and soccer fields, where I've done quite a number of countries. I've been to Western Africa, I've been to Central Africa, Southern Africa, and now East Africa over most of my time from last year. Yeah.
Okay. Alafu Nini, if we were to go back to Kasarani versus Nyayo.
Yes.
So Kasarani had Kikuyu grass.
Yes.
No, that's Nyayo. Nyayo ndio kuna Kikuyu grass.
Nyayo had Kikuyu grass. Kasarani had Bermuda grass. Yes.
So what are the advantages of Kikuyu grass over Bermuda? Why do you feel like this other side was more superior than?
Kikuyu grass, actually being a native grass of this region and growing at middle to high altitude, because where it originated is high altitude, but Nairobi area is middle altitude, the likes of 1,450 meters above sea level. So Kikuyu grass, when it is growing within Nairobi area, it is at its home altitude.
Okay.
When you look at Bermuda is still a tropical grass, but it has some temperate conditions tendencies more than Kikuyu grass. Kikuyu grass has bigger leaves, but when you continue cutting more, and the cutting process is normally called mowing, the leaves become finer. But you find that Kikuyu grass has better qualities in terms of recovery after damage. As long as you feed it well and give it water well, it recovers quite well. The only thing that people tend to say Bermuda is better is because of the color of the leaves, especially for the new varieties that are being bred over time. Kikuyu grass, very little input has been done in as far as breeding is concerned. All is happening technologically is just producing the seed. But in terms of researching for better varieties of the Kikuyu grass species, very little has been done. But if we invest in Kikuyu grass, I can tell you we can get some very good grass for this region. Bermuda grass has so many varieties. We still have some latest varieties that are coming into the market. We have not tried them, but let's see what happens. But Kikuyu grass to me still remains outstanding, despite being a heavy feeder, heavy drinker. It takes more water, it takes more fertilizer than these other grasses. But it's a robust grass, it recovers very well. It resists damage better than Bermudas. Yeah.
Okay, and also I've seen there's also hybrid grass. What's hybrid grass? That's not here. Ugu
actually, we can discuss hybrids at two levels. Amongst crops, we have crops which have been developed into having hybrids. So for grasses, we have like in the Bermudas, in the Paspalums, we have hybrid grasses. Grasses which are much more superior in terms of growth characteristics, functional characteristics, aesthetic characteristics, and all that. For Kikuyu grass, we've not done any hybrids for that grass. Now, sometimes you might have gotten the word hybrid from the sense that a football field combines both artificial turf and natural turf. So those ones are called hybrid surfaces.
Oh, okay.
Like the one Amani Stadium in Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
That one is an hybrid surface where it combines artificial grass and natural grass at percentages of some sort. I don't know what percentage they have used there, but between up to 100%, you might find the natural grass is 15% and the artificial grass is 85%. And this largely depends on whether the stadium is covered or not covered. Most covered stadiums, we recommend you have hybrid grass, because when you cover, grass requires sunshine to grow through the photosynthesis process
Yes.
of making food and all that.
Yes.
So when you cover a stadium, you bring limitations. And if you are also limited in terms of finances, then you might want to go the level of having hybrid, because you need light. Like in Europe, currently guys are having artificial light inside the stadium, which just goes over the grass, supplying light for photosynthesis and all that. So well-funded stadiums, they have that ability of supplying light. Others, you now go for that blend of the artificial to natural at some specific percentages. So that refers to hybrid surfaces.
Oh, so this is one of the reasons why they keep uko juu open, eh? Because I always wonder, like, why not just
Covering.
cover it? Eh?
You need it open so that the grass can grow. Yes.
Oh, photosynthesis and
Yeah.
nini. So now you have the stadiums, of course, as are open, as are closed.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Like at Talanta will have a canopy. So it is important to consider having hybrid. I've yet to confirm what is going to be on the surface, but most likely it's going to be a hybrid surface, blending both artificial and natural grass.
Okay. Talanta is being made by the Chinese, ama?
It's under CRBC. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then how has technology, like your irrigation systems, what you've talked about, grow lights, how have they like changed the industry, and are we using that in Kenya, or are we still doing third world things?
In Kenya, let's take for example Nyayo Stadium. Nyayo Stadium has an irrigation system.
Okay.
The system is not automated. It's just a rudimental a manual irrigation system. But I believe it's due for now upgrading into a modern state-of-the-art irrigation system as we go towards the 2027 AFCON competitions. The same thing with Kasarani. In Kenya, investment has been on automating gardens at the home level and such. But for the pitches, that is the next frontier that we should venture into, so that we can have precision irrigation where you give the precise amount of water to every specific corner of the field, so that you save on water, you don't waste water, you don't waste energy, and you also help the grass to grow optimally for best results.
Okay.
You see, when you talk about these guys who slide on the surface, it's a function of many things, and irrigation is one of the key things that require to be attended to effectively to make sure that we have proper playing surfaces. Yeah.
Okay. Na hizo grow lights hapa Kenya?
Grow lights, not yet. Actually, we don't have a hybrid surface today in Kenya.
Okay.
The nearest ones we have is the one in Kampala, Mandela. We have Amahoro Stadium in Kigali, and we have a man in Zanzibar. So the next one is Talanta, hopefully, and also hopefully Kasarani.
Okay.
Yeah, because Kasarani is also having a canopy now, so it has limitation on light. So the next thing that is needed is to see that a hybrid surface is developed before 2027, hopefully, and also to have proper irrigation, and if possible to also have a lighting system in place to make sure that we don't compromise on the plant's ability to make food. Otherwise you'll be stuffing the grass and you will not complain that the surface is poor. So we have a long way to go to upscale our levels of playing surfaces, not just in Kenya but within the region. We really need to move fast so that we can also develop talent in a very proactive way, and we also devolve it into the counties, because counties are also struggling to get proper surfaces. Many places we have a lot of talent, but for soccer people are playing on marram and stony surfaces, which can create injuries and much more harm. In Kenya we have drylands, we have areas which are high potential zones. Rift Valley can support natural grass very easily. Western Kenya can support natural grass very easily, and other places where water is available, we shouldn't be even thinking about artificial surfaces. We should be talking about developing greenkeepers, having institutions that mentor groundsmen and greenkeepers, not just having somebody has been unable to proceed with education, you tell them nenda pale ukate nyasi na slasher ama lawnmower ndio hiyo, na hata ujui mafuta inawekwa wapi, oil inawekwa wapi, unachanganya vitu, engine inalipuka. So there's a bit of work to be done, and we better do it now, not tomorrow.
So that's what I'd want to know, like what sort of people do you work with? Because like you've just said, in Kenya kuna hizi jobs tunachukuaga, there are jobs for the illiterate and the what. So watu wa mkono ni akina nani kwa hii story? Like even the people who at Nyayo Stadium are irrigating, is it just some random guy who just thinks namfaa tu kumwaga maji ovyo niende, ama are they trained to be able to do what they're supposed to do?
I think for the years I've been existing on this surface of the earth, I have not seen a specific, except from our company, I have not seen a specific advertisement for a groundsman or a greenkeeper to work on a stadium for anywhere in Kenya. So you'll find that most of the time those openings are occupied by guys who are just related to guys working around those facilities, because the guy has been in his house for some time, he's told kuja twende stadium kidogo, upande nyasi hapo, weke maji na upalilie and all that. But what is required in those places is much more specialized. You need to understand quite a number of agronomy issues, besides now the tough grass issues that are specific to grasses for sports. You see, you can grow grass. You can grow grass out there in the field, but you want it for a fodder. But now we are talking about a grass that needs to be cut up to around, for football fields, up to 20-25 millimeters. Less than an inch or about an inch. When you go to the golf course, you want to cut that grass up to the precision of 3 millimeters. And the grass you're cutting up to a precision of 3 millimeters, you are giving it a lot of stress. How do you make sure that it survives well to give you a playing surface that the person who is playing the golf or playing the football will not say that your surface is not good enough? So this is a properly specialized field that needs to form part of our national debate going forward. Yeah,
because unajua hapa Kenya, the way I know it, if I'm somewhere jobless, alafu mtu aniambie nikuje ni water grass, I'll just think grass is grass. Hapo Kenya la siwezi kuwa surprise hapa Nyayo Stadium, maji naisha, mtu anakojoa anafikiria amesaidia grass. You understand, Africa, like sometimes we embrace mediocrity to a certain level that it's just ridiculous. So another thing, like what are you seeing out there happening with that tough grass that you think bado itachukua time kufika Kenya, like tough science? Like what's happening out there? Is there anything umeona? Because before we started shooting, you're telling me that you, when you're watching a Real Madrid or an Arsenal, you look at the grass more than anything.
Yes.
So have you seen something huko, maybe kitu umewatch wanafanya ile hopefully itafika huko?
Well, there's really a world of difference between this part of the world and the developed world. In the developed world, people have invested properly in research. How much are we investing in research, and specifically for sports field here in Kenya today? I would say we are anywhere between 0 and 1%. That is one area. In terms of technology, there's a lot of technology out there, especially in the northern hemisphere, where people have researched and handled. They have many challenges than us, where you find they are going through the winter seasons and quite a number of other seasons which are not conducive for the growth of grass for sporting facilities. So all that technology that is out there in Europe in terms of breeding of suitable grasses, and with the era of global warming, we need to be adjusting to the environmental factors. When you come to issues of irrigation, there's so much technology that is applied, where you have even equipment which are specialized within the pitch, and they're inside the grass, like tensiometers, which will sense the moisture levels of water in all the specific areas within the pitch. And that will inform the greenkeeper on his phone that this area of the field has this level of moisture and we need to irrigate. And then you can even use your phone to instruct the irrigation system to go on and irrigate that specific area to lift the moisture level to be synonymous with the rest of the pitch. So in terms of irrigation development, there's a lot of room for us to develop. When you look at the species of grasses, I'm proud of Kikuyu grass as a person. I started handling Kikuyu grass exactly 30 years ago. And I know it's a grass, if we invest in it, we can get a very superior grass which can be able to support both low altitude from the likes of Mombasa area to the medium altitude and also to the higher altitude under open sun and also under shaded conditions. So we have a world of exposure that is needed to be able to attract the knowledge and information in the Western world to benefit us here. Because currently, even for the Chan, we had enough influx of guys, proper agronomists from Europe coming to give us support.
Oh, okay.
But also in terms of machinery, we have a long way to go. We need capacitation for machines to be able to have good playing surfaces, because we have very good specialized machines to handle even mowing, to handle other aspects called dethatching, where you remove the old grass within the soil atmosphere or root zone area of the grass, so that you can have the grass having proper area for rooting and also shooting. We have what we call aeration equipments, very specialized equipments, and a few of these you find them in our golf courses within our country. But in the football field, we need to aggressively venture into that. I just hope somehow KFF and the other interested parties can lead the way, and we are ready to offer the technical support from the background, so that we can uplift talent in this land of ours. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so some of the stadiums you've worked on, kuna Amahoro.
Yes.
Amahoro is in Rwanda.
Yes.
So how did you find yourself in Rwanda, and how was the experience of Amahoro?
Interestingly, 2007, the football president in Rwanda, a gentleman called Vincent, he went to South Africa. They had been asked to host Chan 2009 for the under 20, I think.
Okay.
So the guy went to South Africa, where he thought they would get specialists. So when he was down there, he went to Zwana University. He was told to go to Kenya, and he was told to come to Modaiga Golf Club, where you would find a guy called Moses. Moses is coming from closer to Rwanda, so I would just easily go and sort their problem. So the guy flew back to Nairobi. He came to Modaiga. He found I had left. So he was given my number. And he told me, "Oh, Moses, I'm from this place. I want to meet you." And we met at a hotel somewhere opposite the police station near NSSF in Upper Hill. Integrity Center, there's a hotel there. Opposite. That's where I met the gentleman.
Okay.
And he briefed me what he had done. He told me they have been given a chance to host that competition. And we took our flight to Kigali. And that's how I got myself doing some work for those guys in that land. Yeah.
And how is it? How is the grass on Amahoro? Because you've been working on it on close to 20 years, eh?
No, on and off. 2008, 2009, that time we actually planted Kikuyu grass. We did Kikuyu grass, and I actually got the grass from Kenya. I took 11 trucks, 11 trucks of 40 feet of grass to Kigali by road.
That's by road, eh?
By road, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I remember one time we had a problem. The last truck broke down somewhere in Uganda. And it took 21 days to get the grass to Kigali. So the time it arrived in Kigali, it was yellow, all of it. So the minister asked me, Moses, are we not supposed to bring in another lorry of grass? I told him, allow me just to see what is happening here. So I opened the grass. There's something called the crown. Within the plant tissue, the living part, the part which produces life is called the crown. So I opened several of those leaves and I found the crown was just alive. So I told him, please tell your minister for water, or the people in charge of water.
We need water.
We just need water. I have everything else I need to make sure that this grass turns around without having to invest in bringing a whole truck over $10,000 from Nairobi to Kigali. So he called the guys. We used to call them electrogas. Yes, electrogas. He called the guy in charge. He told him, this tank here at Amahoro Stadium should never run dry of water.
Yeah.
And that way, we spread the grass and applied every aspect of our management. And the field was quite okay. I remember Nicholas Musonye came to inspect it just some few months before the competitions, and he would not actually recognize that it was natural grass. He thought it was artificial. But the PS told him that is natural grass and it has been done by a Kenyan. He would not believe it until we met, and then he started speaking to me in my home language. We found ourselves laughing a lot. And we came and met again at this period of the Chan, being the chairman of the LOC.
Iya majuzi.
So that's the time I ventured first at Amahoro. Then I also ended up doing reconstruction of the golf course. I was their a project supervisor from 2019 to 2023.
You need the Rwanda Ultimate Golf Course.
That's the Rwanda Ultimate Golf Course, absolutely, yeah. Where we had an investment, proper one, $11 million. But that currently is one of the number 1, 2, 3 in Eastern Africa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Upper Kenya, which ones compete with it in terms to golf courses?
Muthaiga Golf, Karen Golf, and also the one in Mombasa, Vipingo Ridge. But I've not been at Vipingo for the last few years. But they are almost at par.
Oh, okay. And then, of course, you've worked on Nyayo, Kasarani, Ulinzi Sports, Utalii Sports. So all these are football, yes?
Yeah, all these are football fields.
Yes. So Ulinzi and Utalii, because those ones, I'll look at them as small stadiums. How are they?
Ulinzi is relatively new. It was done just before our former president exited in 2022. We did some good renovations on it. Actually, before Chan was postponed in February, it was the best pitch surface in the region. It was the top, and it's also under Kikuyu grass.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is due for also uplifting again to make sure that it conforms to higher standards for AFCON. The one at Utalii, which is also used by Kariobangi Sharks. Interestingly, we did it first in 2015 under Nick Mwendwa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we renovated it that time, and then we came back to renovate it recently when we needed a training pitch for referees for this Chan. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it is also under Kikuyu grass. It has an irrigation system. It's not automated it's not fully automated, but it is partially automated. It does its irrigation in the night. In the morning, you'll find the water has just showered the field. But we have better modern ways of irrigating now, where you have precision, not just a routine, regular machine
at this
timer.
Time. Where it's now just watered.
Yes.
When there's need to water. Eh?
Correct. So we really need to invest in our football fields, both the existing ones and also coming up with new fields, because with a population of 55 million Kenyans, I think we should just try and emulate other countries like Morocco.
Morocco has how many stadiums?
There's a time I was being informed it's over 70.
Oh.
over
That's
70.
competing basically with England, eh?
I'm told the king likes sports. So he has several golf courses, many pitches. Yeah, proper investment.
Okay.
Even in terms of now manpower in the field, you find Morocco contributes most groundsmen. Even when you want guys to do renovations, you find within Africa, South Africa and Morocco seems to have a bigger
most.
supply. But this should be turned around. Kenya is a sporting nation. We should be number one, Morocco number two, maybe South Africa number three, not the other way around. Yeah.
Okay, and because when you've just talked about the investments, now let's talk about the player and the pitch. So how does the playing surface affect safety, number one, and then performance? Because I think the reason why these other countries invest a lot is because of that, both player safety and performance. Yes.
I would say that football players are priceless. They are expensive.
Yeah.
If you look at the way the rates they are being exchanged to within the European soccer market, it tells you that is a worthy investment. So having a professionally done playing surface secures these players from damage, from injuries. A proper playing surface, and especially with the natural grass. It has been studied by the Sports Staff Institute and other places in the world that natural grass, when it's properly done, it is much more safer than even having an hybrid surface or even an artificial surface. So all we need is to make sure that our surfaces are properly done, to make sure that damage to players, injuries are curtailed completely. You can imagine if somebody is only 20 years and that person had wanted to cut out a proper career in soccer, and they get a serious injury just because they are playing on a maram surface. That is bad.
Yeah.
But if you have a properly done surface, because you also have, we do a lot of specialized work to make sure that even when you have a natural grass surface, the stability of the surface itself is key. And we have specialized equipment that we normally use to test. You can test the rebound of the ball, hardness of the surface, infiltration of water, possibilities of somebody getting a knee injury because of the surface stability. So there's quite a lot that we invest in to make sure that this is achieved, to make sure that players are safe. And how do we now move this from that level to have it recognized at the national stadiums that we have, and then the much lesser stadiums as you go down towards the counties? This is necessary because you might find somebody in a village somewhere in Vihiga has a talent, but that talent can be cut short just because of an injury somewhere. They are doing their small leagues. So we really need to invest in these fields, and mostly the playing surface. Let me tell you, even if Talanda has a 60,000 seating capacity, that when it is at full capacity, you're talking about 120,000 eyes, assuming that there are no mono eyes. And what are they looking at? They are looking at the pitch.
Yes.
They are looking at the pitch, and that's the first place where the cameras are pointing at. All the spectators have their cameras, media guys have their cameras. They are looking at that pitch. How safe that pitch is very key. How also attractive it is, because somebody from Europe will say, I may want to take my guys on a holiday in Kenya. We take them to Masai Mara, but they spend 2-3 weeks doing practice. Where do we have the best pitch where we can book them in a hotel and have their exercise there and all that? So really this is an area that requires proper investment. Yeah.
Okay, because this reminds me, like back in the days when Arsenal was playing outside England and they'd play on an artificial surface, Wenger would be so angry because alikuwa anasema juu ya injuries, that the injuries. So I remember there was a time when City Stadium was artificial. Nowadays it is still 100% artificial.
It is still artificial, but who uses it? I was actually asking recently what happens. We never hear about it. Ulinzi Police Circle Stadium, just nearby here, is there. It is active. It is under natural grass. It has hosted training sessions for CHAN. Nothing about City Stadium. We need to know what is happening. If they are unable to work on it, they can give it to us. We can work on it. put
Yes.
our own irrigation system, and get people working on it and generating revenue besides growing talent. Yeah, so the last time we checked it was under artificial, but we hardly hear anything out of it.
Okay.
Maybe now we can develop an interest and know what the county government is up to.
So you talked about the differences between football na golf. Yes. Are there differences between football na kitu kama rugby? Like the grass. Am I the grass now for football and rugby? Because there's a lot of running. But with football, I don't know. Like, is there a difference between the grass?
There is not much difference. Actually, for football, it's only that you will not go beyond 25 millimeters of cutting. But for rugby, you can go up to 30 millimeters. Yeah, because in football, you are looking at ball rebound among other characteristics of the surface. But for for rugby, it's a matter of pacing up with the ball. So that one you can have a slightly higher cutting height. But for football, like now for the ones that we were doing, we were cutting at 23 millimeters. That is slightly below 1 inch. And that gave us proper stability of the surface. Yeah, in terms of rebound, ball roll, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So occasionally we play around with the characteristics of the surface. If we want the surface to be a little bit moist, we apply some little water before they start. I think you saw how we were doing it recently. It's always recommended so that the ball can roll much better than when it is on an absolutely dry surface with grass. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then now a day in the life like of someone who's doing greenkeeping, yes?
Yes.
So you work like majuzi you worked on Nyayo, isn't it?
Yes.
So how was that typical week when let's say there's a game on Saturday?
Yes.
What are you doing on Monday? Let's say Chan ilianzaga uzito on a Friday. So yes, Chan ikianza I think ilianza on a Friday. So
yes.
What mlikuwa mnafanya nini before kuanza, like the first match if it happen hapo, like what happens?
One thing which is very critical is looking at the weather. You look at the previous few days weather, the current day's weather, and the forecasted weather for the future to aid you in planning what you need to do. Because in tough grass management, there are various practices that you do. You have the mowing practice, which is cutting the grass. And for football fields,
yes,
we can cut once or twice in a day, depending on the specific requirements that you've been given by the sponsoring authority. Like for example, now it was Chan. Sometimes
twice
you can cast. Sometimes you can cut twice. You cut in the morning, you cut later in the afternoon. But for football, because you find the plays usually in the afternoons, cutting is in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Now you monitor the issue of weather to make sure that if there is any forecasted rainfall, you factor it in your management practices. For example, let's say you want to control a disease, you want to control a pest, you want to apply a chemical. You want to apply the chemical and make sure that it is absorbed by the plant tissue, or alternatively it targets the insect and the insect is gotten rid of. So when you have predicted the rain showers and all that, you plan against that so that you make sure that you don't waste your money in applying chemicals and then they are washed away by there. And also when you are doing your irrigation, if this, and we have very good prediction these days of rainfall, by the way. So if I'm told we are expecting about 20 millimeters of rainfall, maybe tomorrow, I would not give water today. I'll just monitor as much as possible to make sure that you don't have excess water in the field. Although even inside the fields, we have drainage systems installed. We have 2 ways of installing drainage in those pitches, which given time we can also be able to discuss it. So on a Monday, when you are expecting a game on Friday, you plan your irrigation, you plan your mowing, and the mowing we do every day. And there's also the patterning that you do so that you can see those stripes that we were watching at Nyao Stadium the other day. So also you'll also look at a day before you can do your marking, and then you repeat the marking the same morning when you are having your event. But in between the week, you are monitoring your grass to make sure that you don't have discoloration. Discoloration can come as a result of nutrient deficiencies. If it rains and you had actually given your fertilization, for example, you might discover that depending on the amount of rainfall that you got, and this requires that in a pitch you have a rain gauge so that you can know how much water has come in, so that it can help you make determinations on what to do in terms of water management. Because largely Kikuyu grass would require about 25 millimeters of water in a week. But also depending on several other factors, you're looking at the weather, how sunny is it, the porosity of the grass growing surface. If the surface under which you are growing your grass is highly porous, infiltration of water will be high, so repeat irrigation will also be necessary. So you monitor all that. Irrigation, mowing. Irrigation you don't have to do every day. Like I discovered in some of the stadiums before we joined, they were giving water every day. And you find under such circumstances the grass roots don't go deep. So when a player skids on a surface, he lifts all the grass and it's shallow rooted roots. So we changed all that and we ensured we do less watering in terms of frequency, but when you're doing watering you do deep irrigation. And then you let the grass now to start being hygroscopic, looking for water deeper into the soil profile. So it's a scientific thing that we really enjoy doing every day of our life. So when you're expecting a competition, you have to focus to make sure that you don't have pests. There are some flying insects that can really disturb players. So sometimes you are forced to apply a broad spectrum insecticide. Sometimes it's systemic, depending on the decision that you make, and also safety to make sure that people don't interact a lot with the pesticides. So it's a balancing act. So between Monday and Saturday, you need to do that preparation to get to your patterns in place, especially the ones that help the linesman and the referee. That is the east to west pattern of mowing. That one comes into the very last week of preparations. Yeah.
So you're saying like there's ways to make sure that there are no pests zina fly off ovyo mkicheza game?
Yes.
So even like mosquitoes, because vile mosquitoes tuma kila pahali. Nikiwatch game ya usiku ya like Harambee Stars versus Morocco, there are no mosquitoes kwa pitch zikumauma players.
You know that
mosquitoes can't be controlled.
That time is under lighting. And that lighting itself is also warm. So getting mosquitoes is not a very likely thing. But you will find most insects are up there near the lights there, and then they get burned, they come down, and then where they land is also outside the pitch. Yeah.
Okay. And then like when you talk about disease, like have you ever experienced that ile game inafaa happen and then the grass is sick? Has that ever happened?
For golf, yes. For football fields, not much. Kikuyu grass is actually a good grass in that it is not vulnerable to a lot of diseases. The fungal infections that we get, they are also not very magnified. And when the sun shines for a few days, the disease would even disappear without chemical use. I would like to mention specifically during the cold weather season. That is when both grasses for golf courses and football fields suffer a bit of disease invasion. But basically those are most of the time fungal infections. So they are also easy to control. They are not complicated to control. You just need to give a dose of a broad spectrum fungicide. And sometimes you find some of the diseases also as an effect of deficiency of nutrients. Like here in Kenya, we've established, just like in other parts of the world, there's a grass that is popular now in the golf course greens. The grasses which we call the bend grasses. You find there's a disease called the dollar spot, sclerotonia. So that one you might find that it just crops in because of nitrogen deficiency. Because amongst nutrition aspects, you will still find, just like a human being requires nutrients in the body, grass also has its own requirements in terms of nutrient supplies. Grasses require nitrogen, they require phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and the broad array of micronutrients. Each has a role to play within the plant tissue. Like when you are going towards the cold weather, like when we are now going to host Chan, we are going into our fake winter, the months of July and August. So that time you need to up your application of potassium You reduce your application of nitrogen,
Okay.
because nitrogen is for robust growth. So you don't want the grass to grow robustly when you are in cold weather, because also tissue damage recovery will be very, very slow. So you also have to balance the way you give your nutrition. And sometimes we do leaf tissue analysis to know what is within the plant tissue. You also do soil analysis to know what is in the soil, so that you can do some precision level feeding to make sure that you don't waste fertilizers, and you also don't waste your money doing what is not required.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how does that management ya turf, how is it different in different climates? So for example, Europe, because Europe iko na winter na nini, sisi hatuna hizo. So how is it different? And ama if I have my Kikuyu grass, I'm set. I don't have to worry so much.
I would like to say that in Kenya, for example, we are at the middle of the equator. Equator is just passing nearby here in Meru.
Yes.
So being on the equator and the absence of winter, it tells you that from January to December, our grass is growing, and it is growing actively, save for slower growth in the months of July, August, and part of September. Like this month before the sun shone proper, growth was not much, but still we had some bit of growth. So in this part of the world, you find we are growing grass continually throughout the year. When you go to the northern hemisphere and some part of the southern hemisphere where they have winter and this autumn, spring, and all those kind of weather patterns, you find that in those areas, because of winter, you find they slow down. But now you find for the closed stadiums, they can also choose to go January to December. But now the investment is very high, because you have to use artificial lighting, supply of light and heat within the stadiums, so that your grass can stay alive, so that people can continue to use the same facilities. In Africa, I say we are largely seriously advantaged in these fields, but we are always, and that's part of why I don't watch those big teams in Europe. We are more advantaged than Europe in terms of the
Weather.
natural weather for football surfaces and all these other surfaces. But we have not seen that as a blessing to us. We need to get towards that direction of seeing the opportunity that we have. Because those guys invest a lot. Here we have really very little to invest in. Actually, in this part of the world, our big investment should be around drainage and irrigation, supplying of water. And even a supply of water, you don't need so much water. With 200,000 to 300,000 liters of water in a week, sometimes even for more than a week, that is enough for you. So that is not a big demand for a football field that is going to grow talent, where you find people are being leased on 40 million and plus and all this kind of thing. Yeah, actually it would justify any time.
Okay. So some of the most impressive stadiums, zile either usha visit ama you've worked on, like anywhere in the world, because maybe I'm assuming South Africa, maybe ulitembea.
South Africa nilitembea, but South Africa largely I visited the golf courses.
Oh, the golf courses.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The most impressive ile uliona huko ni gani, ama golf course hata hapa Kenya tuna compete vizuri kabisa na South Africa?
No, golf courses South Africa iko mbele yetu. Wako na over 500 golf courses. Kenya we have less than 50. So we are just a tenth of what is in South Africa. They have done serious investment both in the golf course itself and also the machinery and also capacity building for the people who manage the golf courses. You find Zwane University of Technology, University of Pretoria, those ones, they have a specific training in that field of sports staff management. I think they could have even done more now with more universities because of the World Cup, which was hosted there around 2010.
Yes.
So Kenya, we are still crawling. We are yet to get up and start running like South Africa in these aspects. Yeah. I would say around until Talanda is finished, Amahoro still looks outstanding.
Oh, okay.
It's a wonderful investment.
Na is TZ na UG?
UG Mandela Stadium, the surface is good, although it didn't appear to me better from the videos that were shared by the greenkeepers there. We still had the best surface at Nyayo. Yeah, the same thing with Mandela. I was in touch with the guys from Turkey who were handling Mandela Stadium, Amani in Zanzibar. They had good surface, hybrid combination of artificial and natural, but still ours being natural, it was a good surface for us to be proud of. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then like any unique challenges you come to maintaining like now high quality pitches in a place like Kenya? Because when I look at your stadium, you'll tell me surface iko sawa, lakini pia governor ni sakaja na maji inapotea. So how do you maintain such a pitch? Like does Nyayo Stadium have a borehole? Ama hii maji inatoka wapi? Because I remember like I was even complaining on the podcast that a few weeks back tulikosa maji for the first time in a very long time. And you see Nyayo na hapa, you see the way they are closest.
Yes.
So I think pia Nyayo haikuwa na maji. So how do you maintain a stadium in a place where maji inaweza kosa?
I think you have asked me about 2-3 questions. I'll start with one of water.
Yes.
Nyayo Stadium has 2 sources of water.
Okay.
There is a borehole, and there is also the normal city council supply. So strategically, where you want to sustain grass in proper condition, you need to have proper storage where you have storage of well over 1 million liters, so that in case of a breakdown, you are able to have supplemental water continuing normally.
Okay.
The next thing is to make sure that you have at least 2 sources. Like now Nyayo, it has a borehole. It also has the normal supply pipeline from Kanjo. So when one is down, the other one is up and running. That helps you to hydrate your plants. Now, the other one you've talked about is the challenges. The first challenge in this field starts with the construction of the surfaces. You find in most cases an opening for construction is available, but people look for construction companies, not knowing that pitch construction is not like the normal construction of a cement and mortar. So this is a specialized area where you are dealing with soil, sand, and plants and water. And there are people who have done specialized training in this field. It is always good to do the correct thing first time to make sure that you don't have to redo messes that have been done. I may not want to talk much about what experience we had this time preparing for Chan, but going into the future, I think people should always consider doing the right thing. Because in a pitch, for example, when you are looking at drainage during construction, you have what we call internal drainage, and you also have what we call surface drainage. When it rains, there are 2 ways of evacuating water from a football field. From the middle of the pitch, goal to goal, that area is always higher than the area where the linesman runs.
Okay.
So there is usually a slope of about 0.6%, always less than 1%. So it's not very conspicuous, but somebody with a keen eye can always look and see, hey, there's a crown here. So that one ensures when you get a lot of rainfall, you get water moving about 35 meters this way and 35 meters on the other side, so that water leaves the pitch as quickly as possible. The other one is internal drainage. Now that is surface drainage,
Yes.
Then we have the internal drainage. 45 centimeters below the surface of the grass, there are what we call perforated pipes. About minimum size is 4 inches. Those pipes are perforated, and above them is a ballast, kokoto of a specific size.
Yes.
Above the kokoto is sand. Above the sand is a mixture of soil and sand, or sometimes you have completely sand-filled pitch surface where you have zero soil. That ensures drainage is very effective. So those 2 methods of evacuating water should be done, and done professionally and thoroughly. The other thing is doing irrigation. Irrigation on a pitch is different from irrigation on a farm.
Yes.
So also you go for specialized people who can do you proper irrigation installation. Or even if you don't have such, you invite a technician, a specialist, a consultant who will give guidance on that. We have found many mistakes in a lot of the stadiums we are talking about, even the national ones. You find in most cases we want to irrigate water head to head, where one sprinkler is and the other sprinkler, you want water to jump from this sprinkler all the way to the other sprinkler and the other way around. At the corners, the sprinkler is only supposed to do 90 degrees and turn. On the sides where the linesman is, the sprinklers there, they should do 180 degrees.
Oh, okay.
100 and in the middle of the field, the sprinkler should do 360 degrees. So you find in some pictures that we have seen, you combine the control valves of 90 degrees with 180 or 180 with 360. When you combine, like for example 360, a sprinkler which is going 360 degrees going a full round, and another one which is going 180 degrees, the one doing 180 degrees will get double irrigation to the one which is doing 360. So when you combine those in one, you find the areas have different irrigation. One has double concentration of water, and that is not good for a pitch, because in some areas it's soft, the other one is much drier. So the characteristics of a ball, or even the stability of your football shoe, soccer shoe, will also be affected depending on the texture there, and especially if your drainage has issues. Also compaction is affected by several of these factors. So one has to balance these things to make sure that it's a worthy investment.
Okay.
Where somebody leaving that pitch will say, I have to come back, or I have to recommend this to other people. And I think there's big opportunity within this part of Africa for such.
Okay. And then there's something I didn't ask you. Normally when I'm watching football, I normally see that difference here, how the grass looks. And in my mind, I assume this is to help the linesman. What's normally the idea? Kwa nini unaga like this is the color? Ni kama hapa ni green more than hii part ingine. So inakwaga hivyo like this is maybe dark green, light green, dark green. Yes. Why does that happen?
It happens to assist the linesman.
Oh, okay.
And
so,
it is created by the machines that we use for cutting the grass.
okay.
Yeah, and actually you had asked me about the challenges and I had not finished. So I'll go back to that, and that has to do with the machinery for the pitches maintenance. But now for the machine which is cutting the grass, assuming that it's cutting from here towards this direction, you will find that the grass there looks light green. Because the blades, when they are cutting towards that direction, the grass tends to bend towards that direction.
Okay.
When you turn on the other side and start cutting facing this side, the leaf blades will be facing this side. So this will look deeper green. Then the other one, if you go like that, so those patterns are created like that. And there is the dimensions that are given depending on the size, the length of the pitch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you do them to match several areas. You want to do it to match the 18 meter, the goal area, the middle area, and where you have those circles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, you are in a very, what is it called? Like, it's a field that a lot of Kenyans don't know about. Saizi niko sure nikienda to any high school and I asked people, what do you want to be? I doubt there'd be anyone anaweza sema an tough grass agronomist. So maybe there's someone watching right now. What advice would you give that person? Someone will amesikiza iko like, okay, because you know it's an interesting field. As soon as now you learn about it, it looks very interesting. So if someone wants to kuingia kwa hii field, kuna masomo lazima afanye? Is there more specialized masomo nowadays compared to back in the days?
I want to say that tough grass management or greenkeeping is part of gardening. It's part of agronomy. It's part of agriculture. But now this one combines agriculture with biology, with chemistry, call it biochemistry.
Yes.
It's also a combination of physics in it when you look at the structural characteristics of soils and all that, where you support your grass. The chemistry, where you talk about the pH chemicals required to support the plant life, and also the pesticides and all that. So in this field of tough grass management is where you want to grow grass, but not for harvesting to feed cows. You want to grow grass to keep it in the vegetative phase, so that it can be played on year in, year out. This is a unique field that I would say even today, over 60 years from our Independence Day, is a field which is still at its agronomy in all dimensions that you look at it. So this is a field that I am sure it will grow and it would be able to support especially the young people that we have. You would ask somebody, what do you like to become? They'll tell you, I want to become a footballer. But where will you play your football? That is the other thing that we should also balance with.
Yes.
If you want to play your football in a player per surface, develop a career in sports staff management, and there you will become a greenkeeper. There are several areas in the same field that can give employment opportunities, not just a greenkeeping aspect about it. We have machine operators, people specialize in cutting of the grass. It's a specialized field. We have people specialized in pathology, managing of diseases and pests. We have specialists in irrigation, specifically for turf. So in Kenya, we are talking about zero presence or very small presence of these people in these positions. I would actually say this is a ripe time for us to start our first turf grass association of Kenya or even Eastern Africa, because the challenges Kenya is facing, having this thing at its infancy, is the same thing with Uganda, is the same thing with TZ, DRC, Rwanda, Burundi. It's a big area that needs to be really supported. And that is an opportunity for the young people that we have. So when you're thinking agronomy, think about also turf grass agronomy. It's a wonderful area. We don't currently we don't have much competition, I would say, and we are ready to begin training, to offer training to people in this field, so that it's not going to be considered as a by the way career.
Yes,
it's a good field for people to play. We have people coming on holidays in Mombasa, and you ask a guy, he tell you, I'm a greenkeeper, I'm a groundsman, I'm a gardener somewhere in Europe, and that person is coming all the way to have a holiday here in Kenya. In our land where we don't seem to appreciate these professions.
Yes.
I think it's about time to think about it. It's about time to spring.
Okay. And have you ever looked for someone ukakosa mtu yuko qualified kufanya kitu, because the fact that we don't take it seriously, you understand, like it's not a field that we think about. So have you ever wanted someone alafu akakosekana juu ya ama sasa you have to just train amateurs?
I can tell you a story. In 2003, I was told to recruit my assistant as a golf course superintendent somewhere.
Yeah.
And we made the advertisement. I was given all the applications from all over Kenya. There was only one guy from India. And when I did the evaluations, we hardly got, out of almost 40 applications, only 3 were closely relevant to the position that we had advertised in greenkeeping. And the guy we eventually settled on was an agricultural engineer. So it tells you that if we had specific training for greenkeeping or turf grass management in Kenya, we would be creating a big opportunity to support the industry here in Kenya, in the region, and also abroad, to help our people grow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as stadiums become more multi-purpose, there's a concert happening at Nyayo Stadium. What happens? You as a turf grass agronomist, ukisikia kuna watu wanaenda kukatika Nyayo Stadium, does it stress you? Ama like what happens? Ama you're just like, ni sawa tu wacha warukeruke, bado game ita happen 2 days later?
When these guys visit and they trample on the grass, I feel happy because I know this is an opportunity to do some work. The only challenge, grass is actually made to be trampled on. It's supposed to be played on.
Yes.
So it's a better surface than just a tarmac surface or just bare soil surface. But the grass itself has its own requirements and needs to be able to provide a surface that even if these people trample, you would be able to overcome within a short time and ensure that play continues. I remember recently at Ulinzi, we had so much activity to the point that we had very little time the referees were training at that facility every morning for several hours. And we also had the other teams from outside, which were also coming to do training there. So we were having very little time to do the maintenance. So we want the grass to be trampled on. But after trampling on, we want to have a proper irrigation system. We want to have the proper equipment for cutting the grass and doing the other management practices.
Yes.
If we are well facilitated with that infrastructure, from machinery to irrigation to the other machines, to the other equipment for doing specialized activities,
Yes.
let people use the pitch. But we'll be able to restore it, because in Kenya we're even proud that we are leading in having a good inflow of specialized fertilizers in the horticulture industry. So when I'm looking for what to feed my grass with, I don't struggle much. But I struggle much to get the right equipment to apply the fertilizer and to do the other cultivation practices on the grass, because these things are missing a lot here in this part of the world. And you see, a football pitch, to get proper equipment, you need an allocation of close to 40-50 million shillings, so that you can have the right tractors for working the grass, the right equipment for cutting the grass, the right boom sprayers for applying your fertilizers and all that. It's quite an elaborate field that requires proper facilitation.
Okay. Yeah. And when you look at something like Talanta, so Talanta very soon will be ready. Yeah? How many jobs do you think it's going to create if you come to just groundskeeping?
Talanta should be supported by one main pitch and 2 training pitches.
Yes.
So if you are well facilitated with equipment, you need about 7 guys on a daily basis.
Okay.
And additional supplemental labor. But if you don't have the proper equipment, you are going almost manual. You need more people to be working on the pitches. But now, besides the pitches, you still now have the openings for cleaning services, maintaining the security systems, and all these other facilities within the same infrastructure. Yeah. Okay. So any other one you're working on somewhere, you can't wait for people to use, either a stadium or a golf course? Come again?
Like, is there any stadium right now you're working on, or a golf course that you can't wait for? Because I'm sure pia nyinyi mnakuwaga very excited to see people start to use it and hear their feedback. So kuna kitu kama hiyo saizi, that ama kila kitu yako saizi inatumika na feedback iko positive?
Now currently we have Wanguru Stadium. Wanguru Stadium in Mwea.
Okay.
We started on it some few months ago. We'll have it due for handover in the next few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, still supported by Kikuyu grass. It has a good irrigation system. Of course, not fully automated, but they have sufficient volumes of water. Yeah, they have sufficient volumes of water. So that one is the only pitch that we have now in the pipeline asset now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And golf course. Yes. Of course, with golf courses, we are dealing with richer Kenyans. So ikuwagi more headache than football. Like, if there's a small mistake, people are there, zile nini sticks zao zile anazigongesha chini. Who did this grass?
The clubs.
The clubs
and the irons. Especially members clubs. They are highly problematic. A guy can goof on the fairways, and the only guy to blame is a golf course manager. They will say, this field, and then they are there cussing. But the specific requirements for golf courses is also higher. Is higher than on football fields. Depending on the specific areas. The green itself, where people are holing out, that one is the most critical. Then you go to the fairways and the tees. Yeah, but in golf courses, you expect, especially members golf courses.
Yeah.
The golf course manager is always packaged with the paracetamols to manage stress.
Because I was just guessing.
I remember when I was leaving Mount Kenya Safari Club, which had a 9-hole golf course, and I was coming to Muthaiga Golf Course. The human resource director called me to his office and he told me, Moses, are you sure you want to leave a private golf course to go and manage a member's golf course. I told him I am only focused in knowing about the grass management. It's not more about the members themselves. And what he had told me, I remember deserting my work almost 3 times because of stress. I would just tell my boss, I don't want to continue. Let me go. And then I would just exit the parking, and then he would follow me with his car and tell me, Moses, let's go to the Raine from the window. And we would sit almost overnight telling me, you cannot leave your job. You continue working because of pressure from members. And we also have the committees there, where you find people have their own way of managing things. So for you to adjust to their ways, you manage, and nurse a lot of stress. So for a members golf club, it's difficult. For private ones, it's a holiday, because there you can be able to practice your profession with a lot of ease. Yeah.
For members, akuna mtu shaikuwa disrespectful?
It has happened many times. I am telling you, I ran away from my job severally.
It was now the disrespect, eh?
By the time I joined the golf course, I had enough hair on my head. I don't know that it is because of stress from those guys that my hair started deserting me. I don't know, but it started that time when I was in Muthaiga Golf Club. Yeah, it's a tough job to be a golf course superintendent, but it's worthy, because that's how also you develop thick skin.
Yes.
You're managing the grass, you're managing the guys. Yeah, once you get used to that, you are good to go. But it's a challenging area, because everybody will want to blame you for what is happening, but they will not celebrate you when they hit the ball properly. So we used to do a lot of hide and seek game. Yeah.
Akigonga ndio na make sure amekuona.
Akija kwa clubhouse apate huko. So you will get the message from the kiddies that so and so was very furious. He came to your office and you were not there. Yeah, but I would follow what was the issue. I would find if it's an issue that I need to handle, I would handle it. If it's an issue that I need to raise with the management, I would raise with the management. If it's something that we are missing, we get it. Yeah, so there's always a book that in a golf course they write their comments. Sometimes you can run away when you read them.
Wanaandika vitu zao hapo.
Yeah, but when you take it within your stride, it helps you also to grow.
Yeah. And politicians, wale ushaona wakicheza maybe golf, the ones who are really good at it, because I always assume Kenya unajua ukipata pesa kidogo na nunua golf club.
Yes.
Unaenda kutafuta the nearest golf club, na most politicians unajua
yes,
wameingia pale wamevuruga public funds, ameingia kwa golf club.
wako
Yeah.
Okay, the politicians are not very good golfers.
They've never seen one who you are like impressed to like who you
a politician. In the sense of having a
like
good,
really good at golf, and you're like huyu yenyewe pesa imemkubali. Yeah.
let me look back,
because I know a lot of them play. I even hear like Kibaki used to play golf.
Kibaki, we used to have him at Muthaiga a lot of time. Used to play mostly 9 holes. Then his 10th hole would be the clubhouse. He was a good player until he had the accident.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a good player.
What about Uhuru?
Uhuru is a golfer also. I think he spends his time sometimes at Royal, because I also went to Royal to do some training there. Yeah, so for him, he's also a golfer.
Because I think what people forget about golf, it's very good for getting those steps. Like, because you'll have to some of them walk, ama wote wanapenda kutumia tu ile kadi hivi. Kuna wale wanatembeaga at least wakipata hizo steps.
Yes. It's always good to walk. But for some guys, if you're in a hurry, you want to do maybe a 9 holes or 18 holes, and then you go back to your office, you might want to use a golf cart. But if you are doing it, some other guys are also under instruction from the doctor that you are told within a week, please make 2 rounds or 3 rounds, and those ones you have to walk, so that you can also manage your health.
Yes.
So many guys will walk. Many guys prefer to walk.
Okay. Na nani Michuki, because Michuki Windsor, he has golf also. Windsor.
Yes, a nice one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Michuki also used to play golf. Ama him you never cross paths.
Michuki used to play, but at some point he stopped. Yes.
yes bcause najuaga Kenya it's not out of passion, it's out of class.
Yeah.
Shafika hii class
That is
hivi.
where guys discuss businesses.
Yes.
Mkimaliza pale mnaenda kuandikania machecks huko kwa clubhouse.
Hata majuzi ni mwana nani like the guy who is one of the most successful kwa hizi circles zetu anaitwa Bina. I saw him at a golf club. Kasema pesa imekubali. He was just there swinging. Yes, he was there swinging and he was really good at it because sisi tushaifikishwa golf course and it's a lot of work. And you see now when I was there I didn't know that your grass ni different from football. So mi nikitembea natembea tu na assume tu hii grass na football ni the same. So it's interesting to learn that hii sasa ni very thin.
Yeah, it's very thin. At different levels. Actually nyasi ya football ile inakaribia ya golf ni kwa ile inaitwa semi rough. From the tee to the green you have nyasi ya tee, you can cut it at around 15-12 millimeters. Ya fairway you can cut it around 15 millimeters thereabout. Ukienda sasa from the fairway where the ball lands after hitting from the tee, besides kuna ile inaitwa semi rough na rough. So ile semi rough sasa ndio unachukua hiyo unaingiza kwa stadium. Slightly higher than the other 3 levels of the golf course grasses. Green being the shortest cut. Inafuatwa na aprons just around the greens. Aprons and collars, and then from those ones you go now to the to the fairway. Fairway inakuwa juu kidogo.
Okay.
Then the tee inaweza kuwa the same height as the fairways. Then from there you go to the semi rough on the sides and then the main rough. So it is made to make it difficult if you don't play on the fairway, because on the fairway the ball lies very good. When you go to the semi rough you find the grass is taller, your ball begins to hide inside there. Although me I enjoy playing on the semi rough. I lift it much better towards the green. Then the grass at the rough can be 50 millimeters to 100 millimeters. That is around 10 centimeters.
Yes.
And some other places will let it grow natural, such that mpira hapo ikiingia unachapa mpira inatoka na hizo manyasi. So you know it's supposed to make your play more difficult.
Yes.
Because when ndio umewacha kupitia pale umetengenezewa vizuri, tumeinvest pesa, uende ukachezea kule pembeni. We have trees there, we have rivers there, we have stones, we have many obstacles there. Besides the bangers, of course. Bangers zile zinakuanga na sand. So the more you stray, the more you get difficulties recovering and playing. So hiyo nyasi ya semi rough ndio inatoshana na ya football field. Lakini sasa kwa football field, because of the intensity of traffic and play, you want to make sure that grass, despite being slightly higher than mingi ile ya golf course, you want to make sure that the player is well taken care of, the grass is well taken care of, the linesman and the referee is also well taken care of, the spectators out there, na the camera, the TV, they are also taken care of in terms of visual appeal, the beauty of the surface itself.
Yes.
Yeah, because we also say that landscapes, like the grasses, they are also meant to give the therapeutic effect to the body and mind. So you keep them nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So evergreen lawns, yes?
Yes.
You deal even with homes, Sasama?
Yes.
So now it's everything grass.
Everything grass. We also deal with plants. I'm packaged with a lot of knowledge of landscaping plants. Both shrubs, hizi zingine fupi, trees, zile ornamental trees for beauty, zile zinamea alafu zinakuwa na maua, because we do landscaping and that's where you cover even climbers, different types. Majina tunazijua, tunajua where to apply them, where to grow them within your compound. So actually I started with landscaping at Safari Park Hotel.
Okay.
That is 1995. So with almost over 60 acres of landscape, well done by some Australian company. I got very good exposure to landscaping. Very, very good exposure to landscaping.
I think the advantage of Kenya is I always feel like these developed countries, there's a lot of DIY, do it yourself. But Kenya, are there like rich people mowing their own lawns kweli? Si wanapendaga kuitisha help ama?
Some guys do it themselves, especially those who feel they have green hands, and they also want to do some physical thing within their compound.
Yes,
you find we have a few of those guys. Others will engage a specialized company like us to do maintenance for their gardens, even institutions, organizations, all that. But for home loans, it's a balance. A few will want to do it themselves, especially mowing. But when it comes to management of shrubbery and trees, where you want to do proper tree care, those ones, you obviously will call somebody to handle that. But for grass mowing, you can always do it yourself.
Okay.
As long as you are shown how to do it.
So Evergreen Loans, you're mainly in Nairobi ama operate the whole of Kenya?
We've been operating within East Africa.
Oh, East Africa. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you will find Evergreen in Rwanda. You will find it here in Kenya with an existence of over 15 years. Actually, Evergreen, we registered it first time in 2007 at Evergreen Center, Kiambu Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we've been doing landscaping and tough grass management in the region. We also do soil analysis, soil sampling for farmers and also for landscapes. When you call me into your landscape, I want to know what you are feeding the plants, what is there and what is not there. It's just the way you go to a doctor and you are doing a diagnosis, you go to the lab. So for you, we need to see what is in your soil so that whatever we do for you, you will really appreciate in the long term. Yeah, so we also do that. We assist people in agronomy in the fields as well. So we are quite broad. But with specific specialization in tough grass management, which I singled it out because I felt it was a huge opportunity where we don't have many people in it. Because many a times you will find even people going by the roadside nurseries and telling somebody, oh, I want this, I want that. But you find whatever is done is not really professional.
Yes.
But when we get in onto the ground, we do the right thing. No shortcuts. Proper inputs, proper outputs. Yeah.
Okay.
So our company is called Evergreen Horticulture East Africa. Yeah.
Oh, Evergreen Horticulture East Africa. And you're one of the few Kenyans who are actually doing the fields muli study university. Kila mtu endaga, you study this, then you end up doing something else because of... and it's such an interesting field. Like it's one of those fields that I didn't even... when I think of horticulture, I just think of flowers, cut flowers especially. Yeah,
I've done very little on cut flowers, by the way. But in horticulture field, we have 4 fields. You have vegetables, that's called olericulture. You have fruit area, that is called pomology. You have floriculture for flowers, and now the 4th and unique one is landscaping. Yeah, landscaping is a 4th, and in my class, it's only me who went into landscaping actually. And we pushed the university to make a specific landscaping course as a degree course, and it later happened now. They are having people graduating as landscapers.
Okay,
specifically for landscaping. So those are the guys we are also mentoring in the field with a lot of worth of experience. We are offloading.
And how do you expect African parents to understand you? Because an African parent atasikia, yani mtoto wangu ameenda kusoma kukata nyasi, si mimi naweza kata nyasi hata bila kwenda shule.
It took some time for my dad to understand, even to pronounce the word landscaping. He used to tell me, oh, you are still doing your landscaping. So I would laugh and tell him, it is not landscaping, daddy, it is landscaping. Landscape.
Yes.
Work on the soil, work on the plants. It's escaping. So eventually he got to know it. It's a field that is appreciated more by the developed world.
Yes.
Where people have everything. But here in Africa, we are still struggling to get the basics of life like food and clothing, basic education. So going to that level of people wanting beautiful, neat lawns, wonderful pot plants, and nice flowers, wonderful gardens, water features, rock gardens, all those things. It's quite tertiary for some people, but I believe Kenya is still growing, and at some point people will begin to realize that these are not just for guys who have left school and have nowhere to go. That will tell them, pick that makasi, nenda ukate yo majani. Hata inaitwa majani, siyo hedge. So
si tunajuaga tu ni hivyo.
That also has its own requirements. People just go and do it, but if I come to a hedge, I look at it and tell you a lot of things that you can write pages and pages about, because I look at many things. Where does the sun rise? Where does it set? As per the orientation of your hedge. And I'll tell you, you need to trim it this way so that you can have enough growth at the top and also at the base. Unapata kama hedge ya maua, unapata vile imekatwa hapa juu ndio kuna majani, huku kwingine ni ma stems. Where are the leaves? It's a matter of how do you manage the light on this side of the hedge and on the other side of the hedge. So that way you find it's quite interesting that you find whatever plants they require, you have to give them and you get what they need. So it's for you to take advantage. We are really lucky in Africa. We have a lot of sun that we never appreciate.
Yeah.
We have water resources that are never tapped to assist us. Why Kenya should go into thinking of artificial playing surfaces like the one at City Stadium, where they don't even have the basics probably of the management, because even artificial turf requires water.
Yes.
It requires to be groomed. It requires specialized equipment to ensure that you groom the surface nicely. If you have those filler materials, you need to spread them. You also need to have several kilos of the same material for adding onto the surface. There are many things that people don't look at. Somebody will tell you, oh, artificial has no maintenance. No, that's wrong. It has maintenance. The installation is quite expensive. The maintenance is also there. But if you tell us to do artificial for you, we'll happily do it. But I would even recommend to anybody, let's think of the sun, let's think of water, let's invest in machines.
Okay, but I'm thinking with such a company, most of your clients would have to be kama hapa Nairobi itakuwa Karen ama like which would be
Karen. We've done several people's gardens there. Muthaiga, Kiambu Road, hapa Kilimani, Lavington. Then in the outskirts you have some people with posh homes.
Oh, okay.
Machakos, we have quite a number of them.
Oh, so you have to go there.
Yes, yes.
Alafu nini, see, a green lawn can be maintained anywhere, sindio, as long as there's water. Haijalishi ati Machakos imekauka, it's still going to be green.
It's just a matter of supplying the inputs that are necessary. Even if Machakos is dry, if you have water,
yes,
you can do your grass. Again, within the grass species that we have, you will find there are some grasses which require less water. Others require more water. So like Bermuda grass. Bermuda grass, the requirement for water is much less than that for Kikuyu grass.
Yes.
So if you have water and want to have a big investment, put Kikuyu grass. If you don't have sufficient water, put Bermuda. When you have an open area and another area which is shaded, there are grasses which like open areas, full sun. There are other grasses which like shade and semi-shade areas. So you select the right varieties. You know, somebody will call me, like tomorrow somebody called me, I want to have grass in my compound. So I have to evaluate the conditions, the weather of that area. Is it going to get shading from the main buildings, from trees, from neighbors' walls and all that? If you find all those things, then you now look at the options that you have. Then you narrow down to the best suited for the client in terms of the conditions of the area and also the pocket. If they want to spend money on serious maintenance, you go for high level. Okay. If you want somebody who just wants a beautiful surface with less investment in water, then you select the ones which tolerate moisture stress. Yeah, it's the same thing with even the flower plants, the ornamental plants. There are ornamental plants which do well in places with good water. Others we call the ephemerals. Those are plants which will survive under little water, or the period between the rains. They'll not die. They'll still go into dormancy, and when the rains come, they'll continue to regrow. So you balance through all this, and you are able to give a specific client in a specific area what they deserve based on the parameters existing on the ground and also the client's ability financially.
Yeah, Mikila nisema tu ni shukran. This has been a masterclass. A masterclass in grass. Like this is such an interesting Nini. Because I've just been looking at that, and even when I see people wakifanya hizo hedges
Yes.
muassume tu hii ni kitu nikienda tu kwa store nichukue nawezafanya peke yangu kume nafaa kuangalia jua inatoka side gani. It shows you how everything there's a science to it in everything that we do. So if someone wants to kuwapata unapatikana social media are you on social media as Evergreen Loans ama we ni buda fulani umeamua tu
I'm being coached to get into the social media. On Facebook, Evergreen Horticulture.
Okay.
I have a mobile number. I have an email address. Yeah.
But at least Facebook huko.
Facebook niko.
Because I think watu wengi wale wanatafuta loans ni watu wa Facebook, si nyinyi watu wa Instagram. You're still young. So I guess watakutafuta hapo. But Mr. Kivungi, asante sana. I've really enjoyed this. Yani umefanya nika understand mpaka nikipata loan takutafuta.
I look forward.
I want that green loan. Yes. So imekuwa ni episode 524. Kama kawaida tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Tukibalizia tukisema eko nene.